Now we're going to dive into another book. This one is called Threads of Time: Unveiling Hidden Realities. And this was written by a friend of mine, actually. I never knew she was into conspiracy theories and um, the Mandela effect and the Philadelphia experiment. I actually even didn't even know half of those things even existed. Um, and so let's dive in. We're going to uh, start with chapter 4. It's just a random chapter, and this is called Messages and Mysteries. There was a tranquility in the early evening air as Tara pulled into David and Elena's driveway. The day had been long, and the promise of a hearty dinner and good company was the perfect end to it. However, as she approached the front porch, her eyes caught sight of an anomaly. An old-fashioned package wrapped in brown paper, secured with string, resting just outside the doorstep. Curious and slightly cautious, Tara picked up the package, noting its lack of postmarks or any indication of conventional delivery. This was hand-delivered, she thought, her pulse quickening with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The simplicity of the package belied its mystery. Carrying it inside, she found David and Elena preparing dinner in the kitchen. "Look what I found on the doorstep," Tara announced, holding up the package for them to see. Elena wiped her hands on the kitchen towel and came over, her interest immediately piqued. David too paused, his expression thoughtful as he took in the sight of the old-fashioned packaging. "That's odd. We weren't expecting any deliveries," he murmured. "Let's open it," Elena suggested, her voice tinged with a mix of curiosity and a hint of unease. The usual protocol of waiting until after dinner was swiftly abandoned in favor of discovering what the secrets the package held. Together in the living room, they carefully removed the string and peeled back the brown paper. Inside, they found a stack of documents, each one appearing older and worn, as if carrying secrets from another era. There was a note on the top that caught everyone's attention. Written in a crisp, clear hand, it read, "You might find this interesting. Happy Easter." "Easter? It's not Easter," Tara remarked. "That's 6 months away." David took a deep breath, his mind racing as he connected the dots. Happy Easter. That's the same message the US Office of Naval Research received when it sent the documents that brought the Philadelphia experiment to light back in 1956. Elena's eyes widened. Is this connected to that? Her voice a mix of wonder and worry. "I'm not sure," David replied slowly, his gaze fixed on the document as if they might reveal their secrets just by his staring. He felt a chill run down his spine, and as the revelations from the USB containing Elena's grandfather's research crept back into the present. Tara, picking up on the tension, but driven by her innate curiosity and love for adventure, leaned in closer. "What's this all about?" she pressed. Seeing no way around it, and perhaps no longer wanting to keep it all to themselves, David and Elena began to recount the journey David had embarked on. The USB containing information relating to their grandfather's work following the Philadelphia experiment, and the strange occurrences that had led him to cease all inquiries due to the known risks involved. Tara listened, utterly captivated, her mind racing through the implications of what her brother-in-law was describing. "And you just stopped?" With all these unanswered questions hanging in the air, her voice was a mix of incredulity and excitement. "Yes," Elena answered, her voice soft but firm. "It just felt too dangerous, and with a baby on the way, we just had to think about what was best for our family." Dinner was soon forgotten as the trio sat around the living room, documents spread out on the coffee table. Tara, with her insatiable curiosity and venturous spirit, was particularly drawn to the mystery and the danger that David had walked away from. Every detail David provided led to more questions, each more pressing than the last. And as they huddled around the scattered documents on the coffee table, the intrigue was palpable. Each page turned added layers to the mystery that David had once stepped away from. The atmosphere in the room was thick with curiosity as Tara, fueled by her adventurous spirit, dove headfirst into the details that once made David retreat. Elena, sensing the dinner at the table was too formal and disruptive for the evening's unexpected turn, opted for a more casual approach, and she brought out various dishes, olives, dips, slices of crusty bread, and small bowls of nuts, arranging them tapas style on the coffee table. This allowed them to nibble and discuss uninterrupted. The informal spread perfectly complemented the intense focus required on the documents. And as they delved into the contents, it became clear that the technologies mentioned in the dusty files were the same as those speculated to have been used in the infamous Philadelphia experiment. These technologies, it appeared, had not been abandoned but rather refined and expanded upon in secret over the decades. Tara's eyes widened, and each revelation her mind spinning with the possibilities and daring nature of her grandfather's work. As David, Elena, and Tara delved deeper into the scattered documents, the weight of their discovery pressed heavily upon them. The intricate web of connections and implications grew more complex with each page, revealing a history that had been meticulously hidden. Among the many files, one stood out, a thick folder labeled Mandela Effect, Temporal Disturbances, and Memory Anomalies. David carefully opened his folder, his eyes scanning the densely typed pages. This is incredible, he murmured, drawing Elena and Tara's attention. It looks like the Mandela effect was a direct result of careless interventions during time travel experiments from back in the 80s. Tara leaned in. What do you mean? David began to read aloud, his voice filled with a mix of awe and trepidation. The document details how time travel experiments involved traveling back in time before returning to the present day. The problem was people's memories didn't change even when the environment around them did, causing conflicting recollections. This phenomenon became known as the Mandela effect. Elena listened intently, her brow furrowed. So you're saying that these experiments were altering the new environment, and people's memories were conflicting with this new reality? Exactly. It happens time and time again before they realized their experiments were changing the environment. By the time they noticed it, it was too late to go back and fix it. David's fingers stopped on a document dated August 1st, 1982. Listen to this. One of the assigned travellers went back to 1890 and accidentally changed the course of a football match by avoiding a tackle that led to an injury of a player. On tracking back the anomaly, it was later discovered that the football player was no longer injured, was William Heston, the uncle of Charles Darrow, who created Monopoly. Elena looked puzzled. How did a football match affect Monopoly? David continued reading. Charles Darrow based the Monopoly man, rich Uncle Pennybags, on his real-life uncle, William Heston, who played halfback for the University of Michigan. Heston wore a monocle in his latter years due to the deterioration of his eyesight in his left eye. When history was changed and Heston was never injured, the monocle was erased from the future appearance and consequently from all the physical evidence of the Monopoly man. But the memories of millions of people who knew the Monopoly man was with a monocle remained. Do you remember the monocle? I do. Goodness me, that wasn't part of the book, but me just remembering. Tara shook her head in amazement. That's why so many people remember the Monopoly man with the monocle, even though the evidence says otherwise. David continued flipping through the documents, his eyes widening as he came across another significant revelation. Here's something else, he said. It explains the confusion about surrounding the Berenstain Bears. What did you find? The original children's books created by Stan and Jan Berenstain in 1962 were titled The Berenstain Bears. However, the documents revealed that their name was inadvertently changed to the Berenstain due to the time travel incident. How did that happen? According to these files, Stan and Jan Berenstain faced violent racism following World War II. They changed their name from the German origin Berenstain to the more British sounding Berenstain after the attacks on their home in Pennsylvania. Tara's eyes widened. So their name changed because of racial violence? Yes, but there's more. A time traveler was tasked with gaining knowledge of potential racism following World War II. The traveler went back to 1960 and, while drinking in a pub in Philadelphia, inadvertently raised sleeping racial rage. This led to the attack on the Berestein family home and their subsequent name change in the months that followed. Elena shook her head in disbelief. So the time traveler's actions caused the name change, which altered the titles of the children's books from Berestein to Berestein? Exactly, David confirmed. The attack forced Stan and Jan to change their name to avoid further violence, which directly impacted the publication of their children's books. The traveller's unintended influence altered history, leading to the discrepancy we see today. Tara looked at the documents spread out before them. So people's memories of the Berestein bears are actually correct, but the physical evidence has changed because of this time travel incident? Yes, it's another example of how these experiments cause small but significant changes that confuse people's memories. Elena looked thoughtful. This also explained why so many people are certain they remember the Berestein bears, because their original timeline, that's exactly what it was. Tara sighed. Her expression was a mix of fascination and frustration. It's incredible to think how these small changes have had such a huge impact on a collective memory. David nodded, and just like with the Monopoly Man, the alterations were unintended consequences of the time travel experiments. Tara noticed the intensity of David's expression, leaned in closer. What did you find? He looked up, his voice steady but filled with astonishment. They didn't just alter reality, they planted fake memories to cause confusion and doubt in everybody's minds. He stumbled upon a section detailing the deliberate spread of misinformation. The text revealed a strategy to plant fake memories among the public, further muddying the waters already disturbed by the time travel experiments. One particular example caught his eye, highlighting the confusion between Sex and the City and Sex in the City. This revelation made the extent of the manipulation chillingly clear. Tara's eyes widened with excitement and disbelief, and they just planted fake memories to cause confusion and doubt in everybody's minds. They planted false memories to create a smokescreen. It's a classic misdirection. Make many people doubt their own memories, and they too will be busy questioning what's real to challenge or uncover the actual truth. And as they continue to sift through the pile, Tara uncovered a set of documents that stood out due to their fresh appearance and the bold top secret stamps emblazoned across the top of them. The date on these was shockingly recent, just last week. Look at this, Tara whispered. This isn't history, it's ongoing. They're still researching, still using the same technologies today. The documents revealed that the current research was focused on refining the application of these technologies, pushing the boundaries of what could be done with temporal and spatial manipulation. The implications were enormous, suggesting not only an ongoing secret government project, but advancements that could alter the fabric of reality itself. Wow. There's heaps there's heaps of intrigue in this book. It's really worth reading. I want you to check it out. Let me know. Do you like reading independent authors as well as well-known authors? I encourage you to check out this book, Threads of Time by Sharry Coon.